I'm Dawn Janice, and this is my really good friend, Wendy Lee Baldwin Hargett. And we are your hosts today of Lightweavings Podcast, where we ask that question, what has dimmed your light? And are you ready to do something about that? We are. And we've been talking about that just for the last 4 minutes. And we decided just to share it with all of you. So Wendy and I have both been experiencing some heavy energy from other people in our lives, from situations. And just for the last few years, it's been, a lot to bear. We're pretty strong women, and we know that we can handle it because we've got the tools as health and life coaches. And we support each other because we're in a tribe, aren't we, Wendy?
Yes, we are.
Strong group of powerful women and men in this culture that we're in. And but what we're both realizing is now that we see the light at the end of the tunnel for each of us, that we're starting to come to life. And I didn't realize that I wasn't all the way come to life before.
I'm in the same boat as you. Just had this really big aha this last week. It's like the light bulb came on and the end of that tunnel was really shining bright. It's like, yeah, the last several years just been so bombarded, like you say, with that heavy energy. And when you're kind of stuck in that, it's you forget to live. You think that you're living, you think that you're happy, but when you go deep in and start getting some relief from that pressure that has been on, you realize that you really haven't. And for me, what it has felt like is I've been in survivor mode and without even really realizing it. And now get to step into real thriving mode. And what's coming to me, Dawn, is it isn't just you and I, it's our group consciousness, it's our world. We have been in such a state of survivorship. And with this shifting, I'm sure that you've heard a lot of people talking about the shifting that's going on. I believe that with my whole heart and soul, that there's that shifting, and we're giving this opportunity to, we'll say, wake up and realize where we've been, look around and say, do we want more of this? Do we want to go back to sleep, go back to survivor mode, or do we want to keep following the light?
Because it really is the light that we can, like I said at the beginning, we see the light at the end of the tunnel. And it's always sort of been there, but to actually look at it and go, okay, I see you, and to acknowledge it, and then to move towards it is the key, one step at a time, and that's what we're doing. So interesting that you said that it's a consciousness that we've been in. And I believe you are right on with that, Wendy. It's even if we look back, 3 years ago to 2020, and of course the big shutdown because of the pandemic, I know that I shifted right into survivor mode, and I know most of us did. And, just made sure that we had what we needed, protected, hunkered down, really focused on home and space and health, all those things. That is survivor mode. And that is but it didn't just happen like that, although it seemed like it did with the pandemic. That has been coming for a while, I believe, in our consciousness and in our world because of all the political, diversities and the conflicts that are happening around the world, not just here in the United States, but all over. It sort of worked up to, that almost a hiding, almost a very fierce state, very deep fear state, which is very dark.
Yeah, for sure. And to add to that, yeah, I mean, the pandemic definitely affected everybody in so many ways. We were talking before recording about, being empaths and everything. I know that so many of our listeners are empaths and may not even know it. And what an empath is somebody that's very sensitive to energy. And you take on other people's energy without really realizing it. And so many people took on the group consciousness of that pandemic. But if you go back further, there's been all kinds of tragedies in our history, where there's been that kind of energy as well, like with the different wars and whatnot, that just in the United States alone that we've had, and of course every other country has had that too. But on a personal level, what I am experiencing, as working with people, as a coach and holistic healer, is so much of that started early on in childhood. And we just didn't know that there was another way of being and feeling, because there was so much heaviness, that we took on from everybody around us, plus our experiences. And it can feel kind of like you're in a prison. It's what it can feel like sometimes.
Yeah, that sort of the walls sort of coming in on you type of a feeling.
Yeah.
So I lost my train of thought, but yes, that group consciousness, the sort of, oh, I know what I was going to say. Because what we're doing is we're so full of fear of what has happened or what may happen in the future, instead of being happy and recognizing what is. So
Yeah.
really in 2020, nothing had changed for me other than the fact that there was this new message out there that I was to be fearful of so many things. I still had my health, I still had my home, I still had my people, I still, we just had couldn't go out into public and be in groups and close contact. And it's so interesting how the power of suggestion can change us in just a few minutes. It doesn't take long. I'm not saying that the pandemic wasn't real or anything like that, because that's not how I believe at all. But what I'm saying is that being appreciative for what is in the moment is rarely done in our society and in our world. It's rarely practiced, and it's becoming, we are recognizing that and really trying to practice that more, to truly live, to truly decide to thrive in that moment, not tomorrow, not in an hour, not when I get through this, but now, regardless of what's around me.
Yeah, exactly. And interestingly enough, I have a 3-month program called Decide to Thrive, because it is a decision, it really is a decision. Every day we get to wake up and we get to decide, how do we want to feel? How do we want to be? We've talked about that before, and I know we're going to continue, beating that drum, because it's true. I mean, even you and I get to be reminded that we get to decide how that is.
Yeah, we do. We're just human, and as coaches, we're just a few steps ahead of our clients. We've just experienced something that they haven't yet, and we get to guide them through.
Yeah.
So we are always learning.
Yeah, we are. I really like what you brought up before we started recording. In addition to this, is moving forward in absolute faith. I thought that was really beautiful. What a gift to yourself. Because when I mean, just right now, look at you and I talk about that moving forward in faith. I mean, you're just glowing. It's like you're stress free. You're owning that everything is going to be okay, and you're just being out of that fear state, and just trusting yourself, trusting your internal guidance system, trusting your divine, whatever what your guidance system is, God, goddess, source, whatever, to pave the path of what it is that you are vibrating at, which is that thriving mode.
Yeah. Thank you for recognizing that. It is true. Faith is the word of the year for me. And it has religious connotations, but it's so much more than that. It is accepting what is and trusting what will be and understanding what was, all at the same time. it is a knowing that I am, as I move through this journey of life and be authentic, like be authentic Dawn Janice, I know that I am in alignment and just going with the flow of that. And there is so much peace when we can get to that place. And I feel I'm there right now. It's just, I mean, there's a lot of chaos going on around me. Like, don't get me wrong, serious chaos happening, even in my own home. But there's a serenity here. There's a serenity in faith and just knowing that no matter what the bank account looks like, no matter what is happening outside or with other people in my life, that it's going to happen in a way where there's going to be lessons learned that are beneficial for everybody that is involved. And that's where I'm at. And I get kind of like, I almost kind of get giggly when things happen that prove to me that I am in alignment. Like things show up, like checks show up in the mail, or like it just makes me giggle. It's like, even if it's like I got a $3.17 PayPal credit that just went into my account the other day. Where did that come from? Like, okay, thank you. You know, it just makes me giggle. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah. Every little thing. And if we do that, if we start appreciating those little things, because they're signs, they're benchmarks that we are in alignment and on the right path. I believe that. I have faith in that.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too. You know, we all want to have control over our life. We all want to feel powerful. And how magnificent is it and how powerful is it when you are in that serenity? I mean, talk about power. That is being so powerful in so many ways, on so many levels. You're powerful and being in control of yourself, being in control of your emotions, being in control of what energy you're putting out. You're just standing strong and being like that oak in the wind, in this storm.
Yeah. And I think here's why. I think it's because that's the energy that I'm putting out now.
Yes.
So the law of attraction is science, like attracts like. So then more of that energy that resonates at that frequency that I'm emitting will come around me. So it just sort of attracts more of it. So
Yeah.
to be able to get to that state is a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is.
Not only that, I mean, I'll stay younger looking. I mean, I'll take that too.
Right. And that's scientifically proven too.
Well,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Our bodies age when we stress. Our bodies age, and when we're upset or we're worried, that's just like we're just raising our stress level. And hormones kick in, and things, our sympathetic nervous system kicks in, which stops things from working well in all of our body. I mean, it sends energy to our brain and to our extremities to escape from that lion that's chasing us, because that's how primal it is.
Yeah.
But when we can operate in a calm, confident state, I know it sounds easy to say, but trust me, it's a decision.
Yeah.
Then we're in the sympathetic nervous system, which means that we digest our food better, we glow, like you said before that I was glowing. Good things happen to our body, as well as attracting other wonderful people.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yes, and to just add a little bit of geeky science onto that aging thing, with some of our favorite scientists, because we have the favorite ones together, is that stress and aging is the damaging of the telomeres to the end of our genes, and that's what ages us. So ever since I learned that, I get that visual, So,
Telomeres,
yeah. They describe that like the plastic around the end of your shoelace. Does anybody wear shoes that have shoelaces anymore? Do you?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, good. Actually, I do have one pair, I think, now come to think of it. Everything else is slip on. Um, Something that's coming to mind, about this kind of like waking up and getting out of this heaviness of this energy is that it's really common and really normal for people to get a taste of that and then for it to be uncomfortable and then you kind of go back to sleep. The visual that comes to me is like somebody that's sleeping. I love to sleep. And so your alarm goes off and then you're like, yeah, I really should get up. It's a beautiful day. The sun is rising, but I'm just going to hit the snooze button and go back to sleep for a little while. And if anybody is experiencing that, I feel that it's just really important that everyone know that that's okay, because this is not a race to wake up and keep going towards that light at the end of the tunnel. It's a journey.
It is, and to give ourselves grace if we're not doing it just as we hoped we would, but to give ourselves a little bit of grace, and we usually get a second chance or more than one chance. But sleep is a wonderful thing, and if it's a good thing for you to sleep, then your body may need it, and your mind may need it, and you may need it for the moment. But I want to talk about the other side of that, which is resistance a little bit. So resistance to get up and enjoy that beautiful day that you've been given. That is so fear-based. And I know because I experience resistance a lot. I mean, I've had, some call it writer's block, because I'm in the process of writing a book that I've had in me for years. And I'm reading this book it's called The War of Art. And if any of you are experiencing resistance in anything that is an art form for you, and I'm pretty sure that most of you that are listening have some sort of art that you love doing, and you want to finish, you want to start whatever it is, and you're not. That is the war of art. That's what it's about. That is not from you. It is from ego. That's not the real you. So that's not getting up in the morning sometimes to go enjoy the sunrise or something that you really want to do. That's some sort of a resistance that's holding us to where we are right now, to stop us from growing, because that primal part of us is afraid of change.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is such a great analogy for the human realm of not wanting to literally get up in the morning because of that resistance, whatever, but it's also kind of the spiritual realm as well, not wanting to get up because you say there's that resistance. It feels uncomfortable. It's easier just to be nice and cozy and warm with where you're at, even though it may actually be uncomfortable, because make the rest of your day harder on the physical realm, and it can make the rest of your life harder on the spiritual realm,
Absolutely. My good friend Derek Lacey is a sleep coach, and he talks so beautifully about sleep and what sleep is for us, which is, he believes it's our connection with our higher power. When we sleep, it's our way to connect to our higher power, and we can get into that brainwave state where we can actually receive from our higher power. And so some of it is like not wanting to leave that, I get that. Absolutely. Trust me, I love my bed. I've got an amazing bed. I love it. So yeah, I definitely experience that often. I'm getting up later and later, and it should be earlier and earlier for me, but it's later and later. But some of it's because I don't want to go to sleep at night. That's another form of resistance. I just don't want to go to bed. I want to keep going with whatever I'm doing. I remember when my son Josh was a baby, he did not want to sleep. And I really think he didn't want to miss anything. I really think he loved being alive and didn't want to miss anything. There's something to that.
Yeah, I agree. My daughter was the same way.
Yeah. And then my other son loved his bed. He was so upset when we took his crib down and gave him a little youth bed. He just cried and cried. He loved that crib. He loved it.
Oh.
Yeah, Jacob, if you're listening, I'm talking about you, son. So yeah, this accepting what is it's a peaceful place to be. And it's here in the now, and that's the only reality that we really have. It's the now.
It really is. And what a fantastic time to really start living right now.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if any of you out there are listening to this podcast right now and you're thinking about making that decision to just like be present, accept what is, and have faith that whatever is happening around you is for the greater good, and to just live in it and be it and stop fighting constantly. Wendy just gave you the message. Let's start now.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Yeah. Yeah. If anybody needs help with that, because oftentimes people need help, getting out of that, we have a lot of tools to help people privately.
Yeah, it takes support. And even just meeting with Wendy to do our podcast every week is support. Like you and I support each other in this. We bounce off of each other. So if you have a friend that's like-minded, or you'd like friends that are like-minded, we have groups for you as well. We have a lot of like-minded people that we know. We have worked years on creating tribes, each of our own tribe, and then we've combined them. So there's a lot of you out there. There's a lot of like-minded people for those of you that are listening out there. And we're here to help. And I know you have a good friend that you can, that you may have commiserated with. It's time to start thriving with, just switch it up.
Yeah, I love that. Having a friend to commiserate with and just really start living. How beautiful is that? Lock arms and let's do this.
That's right. That's enough of that. Like other people have been saying lately, bullshit. Let's go and live life and have a good time instead of being miserable.
Right. Yeah. Being miserable is so overrated.
For sure. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to this journey. I feel like the end of this year is going to go out with a sparkly like celebration in the sky, and we'll be celebrating with it. So let's just keep going together. And no matter what happens around us, let's just be in the present, keep our sanity through it. But even better, adopt the serenity of knowing that you are good, that you are okay. You don't have to engage. You can just be your authentic self and ride that wave.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it.
Me too. I love talking about fun, uplifting stuff. Like really feeling alive.
So interesting how we usually show up in the same state when we get together and talk. It just tells me that there's an energy that's flowing, all over the world at the same time. And when those good vibes start floating by you, grab on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, we want to thank you all for showing up to experience this energy with us today. And remember that if you are looking for a tribe, we each have Facebook groups that you can join. Also, this is a community right here on the podcast app. Please make comments below, start a discussion. You'll probably make new friends from all over the world. Share this podcast if you would, either on YouTube or on your favorite podcast app. And please do like and subscribe because it helps us talk to more people. And we appreciate you so much for it. Wendy, do you have any like amazing words of wisdom to send us off with today?
Well, that's a tall order. Amazing.
Well, you're amazing. So.
Oh, you're so sweet. I want to thank everybody and you for coming together every week and just sharing this human experience as our souls are expanding. And this is the time to really elevate more. Keep your eyes on that light. Ask for help. Ask your higher self, your authentic self, for guidance if needed, to help steer you on that path to that light, because life is such a gift. And I'll tell you something. I've only a couple people know this. On Saturday, I picked up my dad from the care facility where he lives. And it just so happened that we were leaving right as one of the residents was dying. And I saw her take her last breath. And she was somebody who had lived a very long life. And so in many ways, I guess you could say it was probably a real gift for her to transition. Um, but it just really was a great reminder that, one, all we have is our next breath.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen after that next breath. And two, we get to really live, because there are people out there who can't really live. Where my dad is living, there are people who have lived their lives, but they have been diminished because of dementia, Alzheimer's, other health issues. They are just existing in so many ways, and it's really sad. And so we have this gift to use our mind, to use our body, to feed our soul, and just really, like you say, grab on to that positive wave, that energy, and enjoy the ride for however long it is.
That is so beautiful. I love that visual. It's so true. We forget to appreciate the bodies that we are enjoying right now.
Yeah.
We forget to do that. So here's a reminder to all of us, me included, to appreciate what is in me, in my body that I'm given right now, because every breath is a gift. So to really pay attention and appreciate that easy breath that you're taking next. Thank you, Wendy.
Yeah. Thank you, Dawn.
All right. Well, thank you all for showing up for Lightweavings Podcast in this edition, and we will see you next time. But don't forget that sometimes these conversations that we have, there might be some parts of it that make you a bit uncomfortable, but that's where the growth happens. So accept it and just move through that. And like I said earlier, don't forget to share. We will see you next time on Lightweavings Podcast. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.